Hey guys, what's up? Russ here with day 216 of my video a day series for 2022. Today I want to talk about a game that's many people's favorite in the entire series. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Asked me a year ago, if you had asked me a couple of months ago what my top 3 Assassin's Creed games were, Black Flag would have easily made it in that top 3 just from memory and nostalgia. But I recently replayed the game. In fact, I just got through with it a couple of minutes ago. And man, it was a frustrating mess to get through. Don't get me wrong, the storyline was fantastic and it added just awesome elements to the whole lore of Assassin's Creed as a whole, but the missions are where my biggest issues lie. They took 2 of the things that I absolutely hate the most out of any Assassin's Creed game, the telling missions and the eavesdrop missions, and they pretty much times that by 100. It felt like every other mission was either telling someone or eavesdropping. And with the horrible checkpoint system in the game, you had to replay the same areas over and over and over again, because as soon as you got spotted, it's an instant desync. No chance, nothing. They even added to the telling missions by having you tell people in your ship. Again, highly frustrating, because at all times you're surrounded by enemy ships. You're going to get spotted and you're going to have to replay that entire section again. So I found myself replaying the same missions over and over and over again to just frustrating levels, to where I would quit the game. I even uninstalled it one time and swore I would never touch it again. So I had to re-download it to actually finish the game. Maybe I'm the only one that bothers, or maybe I'm just terrible at telling missions, but I just found myself trying to go through and find the exact right path every time, and still getting caught and desynced and having to replay. Again, maybe I just suck at that particular mission type. Maybe you guys love that kind of mission. I don't know, but to me, it's always been the absolute worst for me in any Assassin's Creed game. I just feel it takes you out of the action and slows the whole game down unnecessarily. And speaking of slowing the game down unnecessarily, when you are feeling like you're getting in a flow and having a fun mission and just doing awesome stuff, you get pulled out into the current day missions. And in this game, I don't know what happened or why they went that direction, but it was all first person. You never saw your character. And I don't even remember if your character has a name. And I just finished the game a few minutes ago. That's how just absolutely boring these missions were in the current day. You just go for like point A to point B, do this little mini puzzle which hacks the computer, and you get like an audio file or stuff like that. It's so tedious and unnecessary. Going from Assassin's Creed 3 to Black Flag, which obviously, spoilers, if you don't know, Assassin's Creed 3 was Desmond's last game. They killed his character off. So with this, they just kind of, I guess, were directionless for a little bit with what to do, and it was just bad. Now, obviously, it wasn't all bad. It had a lot of great moments too. The naval battles were a lot of fun. But again, there's positives and then there's negatives to that as well. Like I mentioned, having to tell people in the ship, that kind of was just out of place to me and just seemed very unnecessary. But the actual battles were amazing. Toward the end game, I found myself having to do a lot of what I felt was like unnecessary grinding to be able to upgrade the Jackdaw. Because if you don't upgrade it, you're going to get destroyed so many times, especially when you're opening up territories, when you're fighting the forts. Because multiple times They hit you with the mortar from way too far. You're surrounded by other ships as well, so you're having to battle the ships and the fort. And the easiest way to do that, I find, is targeting one ship and boarding it, because it kind of stops the battle, and you can use that to repair the jackdaw. But you have to do that like multiple times on some of these forts. It's just such a grind. It kind of takes the fun out of the battles. It's much more fun when it's just a one-on-one, or even a one against 2 or 3 ships, if it's just the ships and you're not having to deal with the forts, because so much of the map, every section of the map, you're in restricted areas. And once you take down the fort, it opens that area up and you're free to go around. But it takes so much money and so much material in game to upgrade the jackdaw where it needs to be to have a fighting chance. Especially if you're going to try to do the legendary ships. You will get destroyed if your jackdaw is not fully upgraded. And it's going to take a lot of hours to do, unless you use like one of the exploits, which I'm not even sure if those still exist or if they've all been patched out or not. I remember one where you used to be able to like raid the same warehouse over and over. The hunting aspect of the game I enjoyed a lot. You had to track down different animals to upgrade your gear, dart pouches, holsters, to add multiple weapons. But my favorite hunting missions were the whaling missions.
It's weakening! It's the head!
Even
Watch
flinch!
it! The tail! He's turning the sea red!
That was just a lot of fun in the rowboat, throwing the spears at the sharks, the whales. The controls were really tight. They got it down really well in this game. The parkour, the free running. You do find yourself accidentally running and jumping on stuff sometimes when you're not intending to, because they lowered it to just one button. In the previous games, you had to hold the trigger button and X to initiate the climb. This, you just hold the trigger button. So occasionally you do run on things that you're not trying to run on, but other than that, they did a great job with the control scheme in this game. And oddly enough, they didn't perfect the free running and parkour until Assassin's Creed Unity, which happens to be one of the most hated Assassin's Creed games that I think gets a bad rap, because they got a lot of things right in that game. But that's a video for another time. So to recap, the storyline, the graphics, the controls, all great. The missions, really bad. And just a hassle and a frustration to get through. And if you haven't played Assassin's Creed Black Flag in a while and you're just going off memory and nostalgia like I was, I challenge you to replay the game and see if you still enjoy it like you did back in the day. Because for me personally, after replaying it, I would only give it a 6 out of 10. Alright, that's it for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for day 217. Peace.
What did you say his power level is? It's over 9,000!